So it is 7:06 p.m. and I will call this meeting of the Vinyl Square Strategic Action Plan Committee to order. In attendance from the committee members, we have Saritha, Brian, Laurel, Lynn, Bill, Mike, and me. Laura Lee is going to be absent tonight. Evan Belansky also cannot make it, so I'm gonna fill in a little for him on his report. Paul Cohen is in a meeting that started at 6:30 across the hall. He couldn't control the calling of it. It's a Zoom call, so he's going to join us as soon as he can. And so I'm probably gonna take some things out of order so that he's here for the Spring Fest discussion when we have that. And I'd also like him to cover Ledge Road when he comes in.
Good point.
Okay?
Is Christine?
We just texted her and I just sent her I haven't heard from her, which is unusual, so she might be in this other thing that Paul had to go to, I don't know. Also in the public, I just want to welcome the Patel family. Your son told us all about you before the meeting started. They are the owners of the Petro Plus gas station in North Chelmsford. Okay? And I will also say we are recording this meeting on Zoom, and it will be posted to Chelmsford Tone Media in the next couple of days. And before I get started, we do take public comment at the beginning of the meeting and at the end. So do you have any public comment or anything that you want?
You got any?
Probably towards end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you. So the next agenda item, I'm gonna show my screen a bit.
She's so nice looking. Brian dressed up. It's hard to move. And Mike, of course.
Here we go. Just 'cause we got people there. So the next agenda item is the committee business representative. I want to welcome Adam McCusker to the meeting. Unfortunately, the select board had to cancel their meeting on the 2nd because of the snowstorm. So the town manager's appointment of Adam officially has to be postponed till the next meeting on the 9th. So he's here tonight, but he just can't vote, so.
Not a problem.
Do you want to take a minute and just introduce yourself?
So, Adam McCusker, I own business, 70 Person Street, Game Time, Lions Den, batting cages, do a lot of youth clinics. Been in town my whole life. My father was a townie as well, so, but I'm really excited to help out as much as I can. Busy, 3 kids, so junior, and then an 8th grader, and then a 6th grader, so a lot of basketball and softball, but I will absolutely be here as much as possible and help as much as I can. Looking forward to it.
Adam's been a town meeting rep as well, and he has been around for forever. So he's trying to do that. He's an insane, mission of revitalizing the square as we are, and I love to see the younger generation.
Yeah, and I'm on Washington Street in North Chelmsford.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Laura Lee lives there as
Yep,
well. She's,
yep.
Thank you, Adam, for
Thank you,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank you,
you
guys.
stepping up. So next on the agenda are the open session minutes we're going to go over September 29th and January 12th. We don't have November 10th yet, and we are catching up. So Laura Lynn sent the minutes out for September 29th. Are there any amendments to those?
I don't have any.
Laura Lynn, it's not a big deal, but if you would be able to search on my last name and where it says TIMMONS, just change it to INS.
You got it. I also
Thank
had to
you.
change the next meeting date. I had the March date instead of February,
Right,
so I
yeah,
made
and
that
that's
change.
it.
And then I had a few spelling errors I also fixed.
Well, this is September 29th. This one, the next meeting date was correct.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking. Yep. I was looking at the January.
Okay. And so then, we can do them both together. The next one was January 12th. This is my fault, Laura Lynn, wherever you have Ben Duchesne's name, it's spelled wrong because I spelled it wrong on the agenda. There should be a Y on the agenda, the end of it.
Whose name is that? I'm sorry.
It's Duchesney. So just add a Y to the end of Ben's name.
Okay.
Wasn't I here for this one?
I don't know, did you review the minutes?
No, apparently I
You were-
missed
you-
this.
You were here.
Yeah,
So
so I'm
the
missing.
members present would include Saritha.
Was I on the last one? I didn't look.
You usually hear you.
No, I mean, I was on the last, I didn't look on the meeting minutes, I forgot to look at the meetings. Okay, cool, thank you.
And then,
Christine's
Zoom or,
She come.
okay, that's great. Christine Clancy's on her way. So Laura Lynn, the other thing I noticed is, if you can see the screen right here where it says wayfarer sign.
Yep.
That should be wayfinding sign.
Got it. Yep.
And then under Ledge Road, there's a typo on February 5th, but it shouldn't, instead of court date, it should say ZBA hearing for zoning board of appeals hearing. It's not a
Okay.
court date.
Okay.
Is she gonna make that TH?
Yeah, she'll fix the typo.
Yep. Already done.
And then, like you said, the next meeting date should say February 2nd.
Yep. Already done. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Does anybody else have any amendments? Okay. If not, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes of September 29th and January 12th as amended.
Motion to accept the minutes of September 29th, 25, and January 12th, 26 as amended.
Do you have a second?
A second.
Motion by Bill, second by Saritha. I have to take a roll call vote because we're on Zoom. Saritha,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Brian, we'll assume you can,
Yes.
okay. Laura Lynn,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
and I'm an aye. Okay.
Just a question on the minutes.
Yeah.
So at the last meeting, you and I were kind of trying to play a little bit with the, the recording. Do we know, can the
I
Co-pilot
captured,
or
at the
whatever.
last meeting, I did capture the Zoom AI notes. But Laura Lynn was just taking minutes real time in the meeting, she had
Okay.
time. So I can do that, I don't know if it got turned on for this one or not. Let me check.
Laura Lynn, I'm just thinking, why not leverage the technology that we have, like to take, meeting minutes?
So I just, for those of you in the Zoom room, I turned the AI companion on. And all it is just to get a summary at the end, I can share it with
Yep.
Laura Lynn, it might help with the minutes, I'm not gonna send it around or anything.
No.
Because then you can just check it and
Just
then
to help.
Yeah.
save some time.
Yeah. That'd be great. Thanks,
So
Bill.
as long as I'm co-host, I can grab that for you, okay?
Yep.
Okay. The next agenda item is the Vinyl Square, it's actually the North Village Spring Revival or the Chelmsford Spring Fest, whatever we're gonna call it, but I'm gonna defer that for the moment until, I'd like Paul to be here for that discussion. I'll cover the exterior facade decision authority, and I'll just give you what Evan told me at a high level, and then I told Evan we would put this on the agenda again for March if the group wanted to have a deeper discussion about it. If you recall, there were some public comments at our last meeting and also directly into Evan's office and Bill about one of the facades in the north in the Vinyl Square area where the exterior of the building had been painted. The short version is the town has no authority over that. It's really up to the property owner and up to the community whether they want to approach the property owner. The only place where, my understanding where any kind of regulatory authority would come in is if the area were deemed a historic district. And then the Historic District Commission has some regulatory authority on that. So we can talk about that at the next meeting. I know Evan had reached out to, because there's been a long-term interest in whether or not this area should have some historic districting. Evan reached out to the chair of the Historic District Commission, and Laura Lee has also kind of taken the action from the strategic plan historical district action items to meet with the commission. My understanding is that they're expecting Laura Lee to go to their meeting, which I think is next week. So I think it would make a lot more sense to just defer this discussion till next month anyway, if that's okay with everyone.
That sounds good.
Okay. So I'd like to go ahead and kind of go around the room. I was hoping we could do this mostly with Christine with the traffic updates.
Maybe we just skip that one, she should be here by then.
Well, how about the tower clock? You wanna
Sure.
talk about that?
Yeah, I've got a couple things on there I can talk about. So the tower clock, we agreed, we're moving forward to get it installed. It's been at the DPW for several months now, so the clock is in. And we want to have it installed with the landscaping and everything for the Memorial Day parade. I did leave, I put out on Facebook again that while we've raised the money, you know, if people want to get their names on, and we wound up getting actually a good amount of donations for it again. So I think it's upon me, Joe Erickson and Christine to just kind of sit together and talk about what that final landscaping will look. They've taken Brian's renditions of everything and they put it through the software that I don't know the name of, Brian, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out then exactly how many bricks would you have to purchase in addition to the ones that people have donated and the likes of that. So over the coming weeks, we'll get together and do that.
Okay, great. And she's also working with National Grid on the electrical permitting, right?
Yeah, that's the.
I have a feeling that's gonna be the longest pull.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have anything for the McKay Library, Nancy?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. How did the wildlife night go?
It was really fun. We
Yeah.
had a good turnout, lots of ages from high school on up. So good.
What'd you have for wildlife?
It was a talk on wildlife out your window, so that everything from blue jays to foxes and that sort of thing.
Love that.
I guess maybe the only thing to mention is the 2 electric car chargers are working.
Oh, great.
Wonderful.
Jason, do you have anything?
No, I was hoping to get in on the spring revival planning.
Yep, we'll get there.
That's fine.
There's nothing for the holiday tree lighting.
No, that was a success.
Actually, I will mention to Brian before Paul gets here, usually Super Bowl Sunday after that, they like to have the lights and the decorations down. I've been told that in the past,
Yeah.
Brian. Just
They'll
an FYI.
come down. Thank you.
Okay.
This week. Thanks, bud.
Okay. Christine Clancy and I had an action to work on the timeline of projects and what does that look like over the next couple of years and.
Can I hit on one more of the around the room?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm around the room.
Which ones?
Well, it's under the future, but we had an action to lay out that timeline, so I just wanna let the committee know, Christine and I did meet a little over a week ago. She had some things that she wanted to just track down a little bit, and we expect to have something to show to you at the March meeting. So that's in process. Go ahead, Bill.
Awesome. No, do you want to keep going with
No, I'm done.
that? We're having a problem getting in touch with Kevin Broderick.
This is the
This is the Vinyl Square parking lot. Yeah, so Paul's reached out to him several times from what I know. He reached out to him a couple weeks ago, nothing. At the last meeting, I left here and called him the next day, nothing. I called him yesterday and I sent an email, nothing. Concerns me.
His phone's still on though.
Hmm?
When you call, it's ringing.
No, yeah, it goes right to his voicemail. I mean, I genuinely hope everything is okay. But when is that parking lot lease coming?
I think it's April.
It's in the spring.
And
Kevin's an attorney. I certainly hope that this isn't gonna drag into something.
Well, before Paul went to town meeting in the fall, he had gotten Kevin's agreement already.
I agree. I know
Did anything have to go to the town meeting this spring about it?
No, Paul had to get permission to negotiate the lease because it was a 30-year lease.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we can ask Paul if he has anything more when he comes in.
This is yesterday afternoon, neither one of us could get in touch with him.
Okay.
Yeah, which concerns me.
Some of these other things we were looking at in the spring. The next meeting dates, I added the April and May dates, and I had emailed everyone and sent a meeting notice out. Those are actually our only options for those 2 months because of the select board town meeting and holidays. So I hope everybody is okay with that.
Okay, by me.
Christine may have more on the Main Street redesign when she comes in. I did speak with her about that when we met as well. I believe she is waiting until she has the full plan in front of the select board before she releases the plan to the public, but then she was saying we've released other plans to the public before the select board sees them, so I don't know what the timing of that will be. I do know that she still wants to have a public input session on the redesign concepts that were proposed. I sit for you.
Thanks.
And she wanted we were gonna get together and coordinate that, whether she holds it or whether we do it through the committee and we host it for her. Paul, I just wanted to make you aware, this is the Patel family, they own the Petro Plus gas station.
Oh, okay.
So Paul, we've been going a little bit out of order, but your timing is great.
And on Christine's timing.
You just grab that chair.
Yeah.
Apologize.
This is the court.
So, hello. Where are we?
Right in
Yeah,
your
you
spot.
jumped around a little.
Oh,
So
okay,
we're-
sorry.
We're gonna go back. You guys okay?
Yeah, that's
Okay. We're gonna go back, I'd like to go back now to the Spring Fest, Spring Revival planning. Lieutenant Porter is also in the meeting, we wanted to hear that, so I wanna make sure that we'll go ahead and cover that while Paul and Lieutenant are here. And then we'll go back to the team status updates. We pretty much covered everything else, so your timing is great.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
It's no worries at all. So Ben, I'll turn it over to you.
Cool, sounds good. So Bill, Brian, and I met after the last meeting to discuss, brainstorm next steps, try and nail down some more details of the, we'll call it this Chelmsford Spring Fest, name TBD, but I sent it around as well, this slide deck with basically the same updates that were decided during that brainstorm. If you want to jump to the next slide, is a list of basically the details that we finalized on. So instead of trying to close down one of the roads around Vinal Square, we thought we would move it up to Varney Park, which is a typo there, it should be Varney Park.
Okay.
So basically all the, vendors, booths, food, entertainment, all that will be on Varney Park, on the field, up in the parking lot area possibly. Also do some events with the McKay Library, at Town Hall, and the fire station. The mills, I originally planned to have something at the mills, but just to simplify, eliminate the need for people walking up and down the road, we said that we would invite the mills to come up, the businesses in the mills to come up to the field if they wanted to, but having any sort of program at the mills will wait till future years if we decide to do that. Programming still family friendly. We're hoping to include some sort of live music, some local business activities, which I can talk about more, and then food and drink, however we can. So there's been discussion about liquor licenses and where we could possibly do that. So I was thinking inviting Modern Roots, which up the street, the brewery up the street from Town Square, Navigation Brewing right in town here, just for something for the adults, the parents, to go with the kids and family activities, something for everybody who's out there. And then food and drink, food from the local businesses in Vinyl Square, Tequila's establishment down in Mills. And then also too, we can invite people or other businesses, groups from broader town as well. I have a spreadsheet that's linked in this.
I have it here.
Okay, great. And that's just the starting point, and that's just literally going on a Google Maps view of Vinyl Square, like the list of businesses that I thought might be interested. But we can, like I said, you can extend it. I haven't started contacting anybody yet because we're still waiting to finalize the date and the location and the name probably. But I can start reaching out, and Bill, Brian, and I can start reaching out to businesses in the next couple of weeks to let them know when the event is, our ideas of what they could possibly do if they have any ideas. The fire station, we were thinking of doing a touch truck there, smaller, simplified. And then the library, they had some ideas like possibly face painting, petting zoo, balloon animals, lawn games, and some sort of light refreshments.
Nancy, do you want to add anything about the library? Are you planning to do that at the library or bring it to the field?
I mean, I guess what I was picturing was at the library, because
That's what I was.
just sort of thought this was like meant to be like a crawl through the different areas. And on the refreshments front, I'll just say we're open to having somebody based there, or we can do goldfish and drink boxes and things like that.
So
that would draw people to the library too if you have the
navigation
Yeah.
As we met, look, this is year one, and maybe you start out with some good ideas, but say, hey, look, this could grow, right? Look at what the holiday things have all done and everything else. So I think when we were talking the last time, closing down roads, going across the streets, maybe you just keep it on the side where you've got Varney Park. As Ben said, you could have Adam, I'm sure, could get something going with things in the field. You bring it down through the library and then, to the North Town Hall where you could have food in there and we could get the liquor license. Maybe.
No.
You can't.
Only the town hall who has the license of that premise can serve alcohol.
Okay.
Now, in that location, because you can't grant a temporary license where there's a permanent license. That's why, so the vendors can't.
If you have
how could
vendors selling alcohol, like they would need to be on the green or at the library, and they have to get a one-day license for whatever location they're at.
The best example I can give you, remember every year the Legion has their event, they have to come in and get a one-day license for the pavilion because there's no license there. They can't just use their license from the Legion over there, and that's.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's how it works, and
because
same
then
thing
you
with
could say
brick house.
weather dependent. You could still have everything could go into the town hall.
The other, as long as we're on liquor license, may I ask another question? So those one-day licenses will have to be approved by the select board. So what's the select board drop dead date before the May 2nd event? It's got to be the April meeting, right?
Yeah, the April meeting. Which would be the
Error here.
13th.
We've got time before.
April 13th.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be more, so you'll need to, whenever you decide who's coming and where they're gonna be, they'll need to apply for the license at that location.
Right.
Before
What's the
that
lead
select board
time of
meeting.
needing to apply? Is there a lead time?
For a one-day license is about a week.
Oh,
You really have, I would say submit it in by April 1st.
okay.
Yeah, because,
To make sure that you're okay.
because it has to also be in, not just at the meeting date, but prior to that for the select board.
Question Question, boss. So if there were like the Navigation Brewery or some of the establishment, whatever, that wanted to donate
It's a,
alcohol,
remember, it's a.
could the North Town
No,
Hall
it's
serve?
a pouring license, but people understand,
Oh,
because it's a
so they
liquor
can-
license, but it's technically a pouring license.
That would work
And
then.
that makes the person who's,
No, it doesn't.
it goes to the issue of liability of who's pouring that alcohol.
Yeah.
But I guess if navigation, well, and then there's the.
If they donated the alcohol,
Then-
somebody else
Then there's
would.
the archaic Massachusetts laws of alcohol supply that, for example, Virginia and I couldn't go to Vinyl Square Liquors and buy alcohol and then give it to the town hall to serve. They have to buy it from a authorized vendor.
Oh, really?
Who's a distributor in Massachusetts who can then serve the license. I mean, it's.
And
Stop the
some
recording because we've
places
already broken that.
Also, like, I
I'm just
guess
telling you, I'm just telling you how it works. That's how
breweries
it's right.
have also they
They have a
only
different license.
serve on their premises too.
So then would a one-day license?
I mean,
for a
that's
brewery-
something to check in with them, but they have.
And navigation has a different
Different
type of
license
license,
than
they have an
everybody else.
agricultural license.
Right, exactly.
It's not a liquor license, so I don't,
Okay, well, I'll, we'll approach them.
It's-
we're
See if they
spending an
wanna-
awful lot of time
on
on booze.
What about food permits? How long does it
You
take
want
for
people
them to
to
get
come.
food?
One at a
Yeah.
time, because the guys
Exactly.
on Zoom can't hear when we talk over each other.
What
were
would
you
permits
saying?
Board of Health?
Yeah, do those quick food permits?
I would do the same thing. I'd give them lead time because they're gonna want to go through a checklist and may want to do an inspection
For
for food.
food.
That's why oftentimes they use these licensed food trucks because they already have their permits, they've already been inspected. You can see them parking around the Barney Field and then you're all set. And also those people also, that's generally why you see these food truck festivals and these food truck at events is they're already permitted.
Is the farmer's market still going on at that point in Weston Nurseries? Because they have outdoor food trucks.
Where?
No, they'll be done, they're done by.
It's the same, but I was wondering,
They're done.
But if
no, I
you see,
understand they're done, but the same food, because I know
you see the same
Empanada
food
Daddy's
trucks,
there.
you see similar food trucks.
Because Empanada Daddy's there, some other ones that are really good that if they already have,
They
working
have a
with the town,
license, yeah,
they
Yeah.
might be able to serve. I don't know which other ones are there though.
I don't know, it's offhand, it's like 2 or 3 that are there, there's a coffee one, yeah.
The board, and the same trucks come to the Board of Health Fall Fest, so there's some knowledge in town hall of how
Okay.
that
So
works.
that might be beneficial, short timeline.
But you could incorporate the food businesses as part of like more of like a crawl kind of thing, like promote people to go to those establishments.
And go to the library, and go to the touch a truck.
Right, like I said, maybe like a scavenger hunt or something where they have to go in to get something.
Are you, this may be in the noise, but the other thing that occurred to me as I was listening in all the different locations, would you have like signs, like sandwich signs or something up that day, encouraging people to go to the different locations?
I think it depends on who's interested in doing something, like if businesses want to have like a promotion or like a.
No, I'm just saying that if you're gonna have the event at Barney Park, the library, and Touch a Truck, we ought to have signage out telling people
Yeah,
there's stuff
Yeah.
going on in all 3 locations, and the flyer ought to say that too ahead of time.
Mhm.
So families are planning on that and they know ahead of time, we don't wanna.
Yeah, I mean, we have the post in the middle, so we hang a
Right, so
banner in the
the
middle, and then we have some variable message boards, I'm just trying to think that time of year, what else we have going on. It seems like they're always busy, we're past election, or before any senior proms or anything, so because sometimes we're competing with other events, or
Yeah, isn't there
other,
Touch a truck thing Sunday that weekend or is
I
it?
think, I don't know if it's been set today, they were debating whether, because there's a community band event, that they're trying to.
Yeah, Jason might know that. They said that
Jason, the question is the date changing for the police event that had the big truck, Touch a Truck, it was gonna be on that Sunday or Saturday, whichever day we're not on.
I haven't heard any change of date on our open house.
Thank you.
The only other thing I was just checking is, the Chelmsford Facilities website, walks in the rental of fields. So if we are definitely doing Barney, just wanna make sure that's not used, and right now I'm seeing it's not booked, so we probably should just, I guess I can send an email we can block it off.
So who's didn't do that?
I can do it right now.
Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Can we just let Ben and Bill?
Adam may have a good in. When does the baseball start using the field?
So the varsity would be there, so what day is it, Saturday?
Mhm.
Yeah, they usually not on Saturdays.
But they would be, they
There's
would
so
have
many
started.
other leagues.
Yeah,
too.
there is
So what
a
are
lot,
the
but-
hours you'd be blocking it off, basically, from like,
Currently, we have it 12 to 5.
so you probably want to block off like 10 to 6, probably.
There's
Yeah, I would
cleanup
do
time.
that. Yeah, you definitely, no, that's fine.
You wanna go to the next slide, Ben?
Sure. So this is, still to be determined, but because we don't need the road closure anymore, we'll still probably need some sort of police presence, like at the intersection, for example, up near the Barney Field. Possibly one more, I don't know what else we need for police detail other than that. Maybe one more would be helpful in the field, I'm not sure. But as of right now, we're not thinking any road closures. And then budget-wise, we're gonna try and see if we can get the little food and bev, like sponsored or donated or something, still TBD. But any additional food or beverage costs would need to be budgeted for. And then also for some sort of live band or music at Barney Field. And we were still trying to decide what activity to do, but there's probably going to be a small rental activity like bouncy house or, phone machine type thing, though it might not be warm enough for that in May 2nd, but some sort of like kids, family friendly activity.
The other thing you wanna add to your list is, if you'll know what I say, that it's good to have, make sure you get additional portable bathrooms. Because you're gonna have all these people, that's the one thing that can ruin it.
We
So,
have one, we have one at
There's only one
Barney.
at Barney, yeah, and that's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
There's one at the library.
Exactly, it's just gonna aggravate people.
Who do they work with?
The town can do that, but just
The
make
town
sure, put it on your list,
has-
make sure you get portable.
Yeah, I mean, we have facilities at Barney, but we honestly don't, we've had so much vandalism that we kind of keep them locked, so I'd rather just have porta potties.
In here and last time you brought up maybe having a bouncy house or some other activity. An alternative view might be, if there's already like food trucks or something in the park and the playground is there, would it be better not to have like a bouncy house and force people to go up to McKay?
Yeah.
Right, like if there's too much attraction on the field, we want people to move around and do the crawl.
Yeah.
So if,
Very good point.
that was my only thought when I was thinking about that, like, would that be a deterrent to having people move on to go to McKay and the Church truck?
Very good point. We're also thinking, like the local businesses, for example, like some sort of sport activity
Yeah.
or like
Right.
martial arts demonstration or
Yeah.
learn.
If the green is gonna be where the local businesses come, like, you're gonna have enough there, and so you don't want people coming to the green, or the businesses coming to the green, and then nobody's coming to the tables, cause they're all at the bouncy house, right?
Yeah.
Let the businesses kind of dictate what the activities are that they bring in.
Bouncy houses can get chaotic, if that's your only form.
Yeah, and then, there may even be a liability there that you don't wanna take on.
You need multiple bouncy houses to make it.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be a bouncy house fest. I'd
Right.
rather,
Right.
local,
Right.
local business fest.
Yeah.
One other thing I was gonna mention is just, we've been thinking about too, the timing of it. So if you want people to crawl from one to another, like if we had a presenter or performer or something like that, they might not be able to be there from 12 to 5, do you know what I mean? There might be a window. So we would try to dovetail what's going on at the the venues as much as we can.
Yeah, so there's stuff to go to.
Yeah, and
Yeah, have a
to
schedule,
help the
schedule
crawl.
of.
Yeah.
Kind of like if, the other thing you might want to consider is like a petting zoo or a small thing like that, that's always popular.
I
Yeah.
think the library is looking at that.
That's our hope.
Yeah, that's very popular.
Yeah.
And then kind of, because that made me think of the 4-H fair, if you've ever been to the 4-H fair in Westford, it goes on for a long period of time, but during those things, there's specified activities taking place. at a given time, and that's how you move people around. You know, there's gonna be this performer at 12 o'clock at the K Library.
Yeah,
At 1:30, there's gonna be this activity taking place over at the fields.
Yeah.
And this at the North Town Hall, and then that's how you move people around.
Yeah, like the demonstration too.
And also, then if people only can stay for a certain period of time, they'll target themselves to which one they wanna
Yeah.
go to. Because you're right, you just can't just leave it, well, we're gonna do these things in this big block of time. It's not gonna work.
What are you thinking about for like music?
I know we need something, but I don't know what yet. I mean.
I feel like you could do, it's probably too close, but it'd be really cool if you could do some sort of like battle band thing. Like local
That would be
bands
cool.
wanting to like showcase some music, you know, that would be kind of
That would be
cool.
really cool.
So I would think two different things. One is you could do an earlier on event for children performers or music, and then you're right, later in the day have the adult ones. What works so popular at the Fall Fest are the characters, right, Christine?
Yeah, they have like the princesses,
princesses, yeah. Oh my
the
gosh.
Marvel
Yeah.
characters.
Those
Yeah,
are,
my kids love that. That
Yeah.
has to
Yeah.
stay for that.
exactly, so if you could get that in, that would really go well.
Is there a formal committee for the Fall Fest?
Well, the
The
Board of
formal
Health.
group, I mean,
Board of
yeah, I
Health.
guess there's a board of health, but then they have like a formal meeting.
Yeah.
Just wondering if we should just talk to them and maybe pick their brains.
Yeah,
I
talking
mean,
to
you talk
Donna
to
Green,
Donna
Donna
Greenwood
Greenwood.
has a lot of.
Dawn Greenwood.
Because she's a
Might
lot
be a
of
good idea.
contact.
She's the health department
She's
director.
director.
So her information's on the website. So I was thinking about the Fall Fest and the Board of Health and also like the funding and stuff that you want and the tree lighting. So at the tree lighting, there's a bucket or buckets out that say, donations to help go toward it. The Fall Fest, I think they actually charge for the tables. I don't know if we really wanna get into that or not, but if you are gonna collect donations of some sort, like that would then go into the Vinyl Square Fund,
Yeah.
the town fund.
Yeah.
To help fund some of these other things, because right now it's going on our March or April agenda. We have not been replenishing that fund at all. The tree lighting goes under a separate fund that supports both the North Village and the Center Village holiday events. It's so, I just wanna be mindful of that, like we have a fund that probably has plenty of money in it right now, but we've gotta like start working on how do we replenish it.
Yeah.
Could you do like a raffle of something if anyone was willing to donate something and then sell tickets and.
Oh, that's a neat idea.
Like a 50-50 raffle.
Yeah, or something like that. I know I see some other town type of fairs where they do stuff with like baskets with tickets and people put into it.
Businesses or people donate baskets and you can raffle them off.
Cause there's things you can do with like the tickets, like a sheet, people buy them for X amount of dollars, they put them in,
I mean,
somebody
that could
wins,
be
and they
something
make
for
money.
local businesses, like at their booths, like this is what we're offering for raffle. Come check it out.
But also, how do you get money to help fund for?
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
you go with event sponsors and say,
Yeah,
Lowell
you can
Five
ask
is-
people, the Board of Health does that too, they get event sponsors and then they put their signs
Yeah,
out
yeah,
in the center for like a week or two, right? And they're up at on the flyers, they're thanking the sponsors, and so you could do some kind of sponsorship for possibly.
Yeah, I like
Thanks,
that.
that's a good idea.
You okay, Bill? You think you're frowning?
No, I'm
Just
thinking
okay.
a lot.
So the room's been talking a lot. Does anybody on Zoom have anything they wanna add or interject at this point?
I do.
Okay.
Given how it sounds like it's going to be very widespread as far as the locations, thinking maybe when we get to be like 30 days out, if I could get some kind of idea of how many groups are going to be set up, at Varney or at the library, the fire station, or on the common, because I'm thinking this is going to be probably 6 or 8 officers as far as the pedestrian traffic and stuff like that. So is it Bill, Ben, and Brian who are running this?
Yep.
So if you can just keep me in a loop, I would appreciate that.
100%.
And I would want to be prepared. I know this, you don't want to shut any roads down, but if you do end up attracting a lot of people, it would be easier to shut the roads down in the neighborhood. It'll probably be an inconvenience for some of the residents for a period of time, but it'll just be safer for the walkers.
And that's at the town's discretion in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
need to get the
that's what I'm
state
saying.
involved.
Yeah.
I guess with that, like, would we, if you were driving to this event, where would we tell people to park? I guess in the big municipal lot, probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, in my mind, this is,
Senior center.
Yeah,
senior center, like, it's fairly local, so,
Yeah.
I'm hoping people can walk as much as possible, so there's not as much need for parking, but yeah, senior center, there's a lot that might be enough, I'm not sure.
And then you have South Ball too. Those
Could you-
times games, but.
Would you add any more handicap day parking for that event compared to what we normally have if you're putting people to the senior center or, I don't know where the heart of this stuff is, and I know we do have handicap spaces here, but would that be enough for the type of event you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, that might be, I'm wondering, if we have things in the parking lot of Arnie, or if the road, neighborhood roads are closed, and there's, we need to accommodate for handicap, like, I'm thinking maybe people park at the senior center and we like shuttle them. And that goes back to the Evans trolley idea, but I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, just another quick idea that popped in my head. I don't know if there's a possibility to do something, either a sticker or stamp at each one of these locations and somebody gets something. I don't know, like to have them go from location to location.
Yeah,
Not sure what that would look like.
yeah. I do like that idea. My only hesitation is like, I'm assuming that the touch drive at the fire station is gonna be like,
Short.
short. So like if you missed that, you wouldn't be.
So maybe you pick other stuff, like
Yeah.
the library, or maybe the
Yeah.
library's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What did you say, Marlon?
I didn't say anything, sorry.
Okay. Mike, do you have anything at this point?
No, not at this time. Everything sounds great.
Okay, and Brian, you chime in if you do, I know you're busy back there.
I'll just reiterate something that Bill, Ben, and I sort of all came to a conclusion on. It's definitely year one. These are fantastic ideas, and it might be better for 2027. But some of them are like necessary safety stuff too. So like really, really good discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, the other thing that just popped into my head for future, not for this, maybe like the vinyl square passport, like the businesses each put a stamp and,
Bill, it sounds like you got a new subcommittee.
I love the enthusiasm.
One other idea, just mindful, like spring can be pretty muddy, so we just wanna be careful of any traffic on the field. Cause that is our, for playing for baseball, so try to keep trucks up on the pavement. I mean, not to say we can't have activities on the field, but I think we just don't wanna leave, traffic. There's a lot of space around it too, though, so I think you can find the space, but just be mindful of that, cause that field was recently done.
Yeah, in my mind, I didn't have any trucks, it was more just booths and foot traffic.
Yeah,
Trucks
then
would
I
be
think that's total, that's fine. And then we have irrigation, we'll have to make sure that's not on during that time, but that's fine.
if there were obviously stuff like that, water access for food booths, sometimes they require water.
Yeah, we don't really have that, I guess, I'm gonna have to see where the closest spigot is, because a lot of times we just bring water to the site too,
Yeah,
so.
it's different.
There's one right behind the backstop, that's really it. Actually, I should say that.
And there's electrical that's actually buried underground, it's
Yeah,
not
you could
really
pull from-
exposed.
You could pull from the mound, behind the mound, but you wouldn't want to do that.
No.
Okay. Is there anything from this slide then that you need to address?
Just that, we're gonna, I think now it's a good time.
I'm gonna show the spreadsheet in a minute.
Okay, yeah, probably a good time to start contacting businesses, shortly after this, so that they have time to get permits if they want to, or just be aware of it, generate ideas of what they could possibly bring to the event. I'm not sure what we need for volunteers, like in terms of like the number, but I'm sure we need some volunteers to, help set up.
Yeah, you guys can
take
flesh
down.
through that over the next month. and-
Yeah. And then, this, I actually deleted this from my copy. Website, we talked about like donations and generating, interest, volunteers. My, MO is websites, that's where I start, thinking about projects, so that's why I included it here. I've moved it from my, slide here, Virginia said it would not be possible, which is fine, that's just how I think about local events or events in general, we need a website so people know what you're doing, talking about. That would help with wayfinding as well, like we could tell them earlier that there were things
I
happening
mean,
in
Paul,
other
do we
places.
do independent websites for municipal functions, or, like, the only place I've seen independent websites is the rink, the CCA, and the golf course, and those are organized totally differently. But for all these other town municipal functions, they work it through the town pages, the town Facebook.
Is it,
What about things like the clock? I have a webpage for the
But
clock.
that was for private funding.
This would be private funding, no?
No, because you'd be putting the money into the town account 100%. You raise money for the clock to purchase the clock itself,
Yeah,
And then you gotta donate the clock.
and then you're donating the clock.
I might not be following. So we can't do a website where people could donate money to and eventually have
I
it in
mean,
the town.
is it,
Not with the ads.
Not with paid advertising for.
yeah, which,
municipal,
like I said,
no.
this is not my copy, so we don't have to do website pay ads. If we wanted to, is it like we create or I create, whoever creates a nonprofit specifically for this, and then the nonprofit is in
So
charge of getting
I'll just give you my
donations.
take. I'm really reluctant to create another nonprofit, because what we're trying to do is replenish the town account for this committee
Right.
that would be helping to fund all this. So it's not an independent funding mechanism.
can you do it
So
with Facebook?
it's really a question of whether the town is comfortable, and I think the town would probably have to control that website, setting up, and I don't even know if the law allows that, for you to solicit donations like that. Right.
But can
Yeah,
you sell
I
like banners or something, like for the parade, or the parade, people sponsor previous sponsorship?
But they're separately funded, they.
Yeah, so I think,
They're
You know,
audited.
if you were to set up and
File a tax return.
I think this is a bigger conversation than this event, because if you wanna set up a nonprofit for the Friends of the North Village, I think that's I think it's a road too long to haul between now and May 2nd. Okay, and that's like probably a bigger conversation that this group has to have under the context of the replenishment of the fund that we have. So the library has a Friends of the Library nonprofit. There's a Friends of the Senior Center nonprofit, and they raise money, and they are registered 501(c) nonprofits.
So forget about the nonprofits.
And they fund projects, so
let's-
that's just too big right now.
We're
for us
not
to
talking
tackle.
about nonprofits, though,
That's what you
stop.
suggested, that's
Ben,
why.
we're not going nonprofits. Can we just get simple though for a minute?
Yes,
Like, you put up a website and it's got like a barcode, right? It's got like a little scan, like, so that people can donate to something, like, so that they go into a website and you go solicit some things with a flyer to some pizza place and they say, sure, and you say, scan this barcode, and it would just go there. Is there something that we could do that's just simple like that? No paid advertising on it, no new nonprofits, could you just?
And that's why I say, you're talking with Donna Greenwood about how the Board of Health
Okay.
does the Fall Fest.
I believe they
Alright.
contact the Board of Health.
Right, exactly.
So basically what we would want them to do is Paul tell us what office in town hall do they contact? Is it Evan, is it Christine, is it the town manager's office? And it all goes through them.
Yeah.
And
We
that's
just want a
really-
landing site for people to be able to go to.
I don't even, but
Or not,
the
if we
point
don't-
is the landing site for the Board of Health is the town website. It's not an independent website.
But if we don't need, like, if we have an alternative funding method, for example, businesses pay for booths or sponsored names on the event or paid banners, like, then we don't necessarily need a website. Like I said, I started this, and when I talked to Virginia about this, I removed that section from my slide. We don't need a website, but if we wanted to get donations before the event from basically anybody besides the businesses involved, I'm not sure how else to do it.
You
without
talk to
talking
Donna
Yeah,
Greenlaw with
we
Bill.
certainly will, we certainly will.
Because a
And
website
she'll
could be
tell you
really
how to do
helpful.
it as a town function.
It could be, this is what the whole event is gonna be about, like, where would people even go to find out what the event's about? So you might wanna do something
Yeah, as
that's
of right now,
got
I think it
that
would be
information.
the Facebook page, I think, but again, Facebook, is not good at, like, it's a post.
You
It's there for
can,
24
so when we were doing a different project in town with the fire stations, we set up a website on the town website dedicated to that. We had events, we had everything we were doing on that. And we, through Facebook and other mechanisms, we pointed the public right there.
So you could do a QR code
So you
to a
don't,
town.
you
It's
don't
basically a
necessarily
flyer,
need to
yeah.
go rogue with another website,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Donna would know more, but I think they create like a poster with a QR code.
Yeah.
And then they say on it, like, we need someone to sponsor the hayride. So I think that there's a list of sponsorship needs, and then they find that through for the Fall Fest. She would have more information, but that's how, it's like almost it's not a landing page, it's a flyer with a QR code.
Yeah, and that sounds.
And then it would be wherever you want probably go through Evan, right, with a collection point or something.
That would work fine.
Right,
How do people right now donate towards like the tree lighting?
that's a different, so they donate, I think that you can jump in, but they put the buckets out for people to donate.
Okay, so
And then that money goes to Darlene Lucier, and it goes into the town account for the holiday functions.
So you need to make sure you're that
Please.
clear, so you know
But
where you're sending money to.
I just wanna get like real clear on this, could you please clarify, is any kind of paid advertising allowed for a municipal function?
No, the town can't, no, the short answer is no.
Okay, thank
Look,
you.
no, I know we wanna move on, yeah.
I just wanna make sure it's clear, you can't do it. All right, Ben, do you wanna talk about your business list?
Sure, yeah, so as of right now, this is basically just the businesses immediately around Vinyl Square, the ones that I saw, who, I could see being involved or potentially have some sort of presence at the field. But we can continue to expand on this. Like I said, I haven't reached out to anybody. I do have a list of potential ideas just to get them started. If they, didn't have any ideas, like for example, dancing or some sort of dance activity from the school of dance, or martial arts demonstration from the Martial Arts Academy. And then it would be a mixture of, food and bev, some sort of business activity. And then some would just be a simple table, like I'm thinking Level 5 would just be a simple table, unless they want to do
The question that we might have to ask though is, if this is Spring Fest for Chelmsford, should we
Right.
go beyond
Yes.
Chelmsford, right? And we should probably,
certainly can, yeah.
So I think this is a really good start. My only thought was, we don't know what we don't know, and we don't know who we don't know. So if we have a list and we say, I'm gonna go reach out to these 15 businesses, we might miss somebody important that has something to offer. Right, the dentist next to the fire station might wanna do some kind of family-friendly thing on the green, right? So, and the other challenge is, and I've learned this through the efforts Evan and I have done, we don't necessarily have like an email contact for every business out there. So we have different mechanisms where you could publicize that we're inviting businesses to, claim a spot, figure out how many spots you can have. And then through the Facebook page, through the website, through the email distribution list that we do have, we can put that out there to see if anybody else is interested in participating from Chelmsford. And do it, kind of work it both ways,
Sounds
And,
great.
and that way, to Paul's point too, it gives, and Bill's point, it gives people across the town an opportunity to come forward if they want to.
Yeah, sounds great.
And that's where that conversation with Donna Greenwood will be very helpful, because she's done it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And she'll tell you, what works and what doesn't work.
It goes out to the public and then people
Yeah.
sign up.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of good avenues, CBA, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay, anybody else have any comments on the start to the businesses list? Did you want me to put your flyer up, Ben? I have that too.
If you want to just flash it quickly, this is just a starting point. Colors can change, fonts can change, the picture, anything can change. I think it's a good idea, as you said, to put the places. that
Yeah, I
things are
would change
happening.
it from the Varney Park and Vinyl Square to put the 3 locations.
What'd be really cool is if you do figure out how to do the town thing and you could do a QR code that leads to a map. of the events, right? Like an overview of this is our timeline and here's the spots where you could just click off of your ad here with that type of QR code would be cool.
Yeah. And I don't know if you wanna, it's minor, but I don't know if you wanna play around with the graphics so it doesn't look like it's a beach party.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people are gonna be
It
swimming
doesn't,
on
it
May
doesn't look
2nd.
like, that doesn't look like a family
Boy.
Wait, but did the groundhog see a shadow?
I don't think he did.
Well,
Winter's
I know the lake will still be frozen on May 2nd.
You're like a smart graphics guy, yeah, you should do like a blend of show sort of like the McKay Library, the fire station, and the park. And that way visually it's setting into people that it's a walk around.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that can't read cursive right now. Just FYI.
I know, right?
They can't read the Constitution.
Okay, do we have anything more from the team in this meeting on the spring revival?
I just want to say, I
The
think
Spring
there's,
Fest.
I like to see all this stuff moving forward. I was a little bit concerned at our last meeting that we weren't going to be this far. So I'm impressed with that. I think it's good. I like to see
I
that.
thought that was a really good idea that you guys had to pull it onto that one side of the street too.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go a little bit out of order since this was such a deep discussion. Does the public have any comments or anything you want to make on this topic? No, that's fine, if not, okay.
Virginia,
Yes,
I just want to recognize the efforts of Ben, Brian, and Bill. That was an excellent presentation and all that you guys have already done to start us going. I mean, look at the discussion we just had based on their meeting. So I just wanted to say thanks to you guys.
You're welcome to join, Laura Lynn.
I actually requested to join and then I didn't get an invitation, so I didn't take it personally.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're in.
you just got signed up.
That's right.
It's all good.
Okay. I'm just gonna put the punch list up again for the statusing. Jason, are you okay now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So the only thing we really have left on the agenda that we didn't cover before Paul and Christine arrived is the rest of the team status updates.
They did the clock.
Yes, Bill did talk about the objective for the clock.
Anything we
is
need to
fine.
do on the
We're still
state?
getting the permit, so that they wrote back like 10 more things they needed, so we're on the last thing is the permit seeking. We have a work order with National Grid, but they wanted a letter written from National Grid authorizing us to fix the pole, even though we have a work order number, so that's like the last thing we need from, but we have to get the letter from National Grid. So we should have it, I mean, the thing is, we can't dig until after April 1st or April 15th, so we're getting everything in place. We'll start digging, and I guess what I have to do is I gotta work on the layout.
I'll come and
So
find
the layout,
you,
we
Joe.
haven't prioritized, honestly, we'll probably do it like end of February, we'll do it, so I'm not too worried, we'll be ready.
I should have all the final counts by then too.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, for now, I think honestly, that footprint of the brick can always change, that's the last piece really, so if it's 5 feet wide, 3 feet wide, we'll make it work.
Okay, do you wanna keep going, Christine?
Sure, so tower clock, talked about.
The signage is on hold till weather thaws.
Tower clock, the only thing is I gotta check that they go back to us on the date too. I know we have a date set, I gotta double check that they confirmed that date too. So yeah, I think they did, but I'll double check that. So I sent that email, I copied you on that bill. I don't know if they ever said
I
it's.
did, I sent the email back because they had a spam thing going on.
Oh, okay, so I'll confirm, but we'll be good for a May installation. Signage, so nothing really to update there, except we do have one sign that is still down, we can't put it back up until after so that's all set. Freeman Lake appeal, so we did hear from the DEP, and we did get a superseding conditions. Essentially, it will allow us to do the treatment as we had anticipated. But it does add on a requirement to have an environmental on-site monitor as we do the treatment. So that was just the added feature to the superseding conditions. And today that appeal period has lapsed, so we're.
So there was no appeal
There was
filed?
no appeal to
There was no appeal
the appeal
Okay,
disposition.
that's why I was kind of saying.
That's what I
Yeah, so
Excellent.
basically
Drawing
today it
attention.
lapsed, we just actually, David Coons just
Oh, great.
told Courtney this afternoon. So we're moving forward with, we won't be doing the survey until the spring, to get to see how and what grows. Milfoil is usually what we have to battle at Freeman Lake. I know we had the water chestnut harvesting last year, so we'll look to see if we can do that again. But we're right now, our plan is to get a treatment plan in place with getting quotes, and then we'll do a survey this spring and treatment spring, summer. Right?
Be interesting if this freeze has any change in.
Yeah, it's been
happens in
so
spring.
cold,
This is the
so
first
we
time in
thought
years
with
we've
it
had a
being
cold
so
winter.
cold, we
Mhm.
think we should see less
Yeah.
growth, but
Yeah, because I noticed the Merrimack was frozen.
Yeah.
everything,
No,
yeah.
this is the coldest winter.
It seems we have, if you look back, yeah, we've always had a warm spell, warm at 50, 60, things can grow, and it's been just so cold, so we'll see how it plays out. And we've been in a drought too, so.
Right.
Varney Park and Beach, not too much to update, except I know we are moving forward with the, second phase of Varney, working with the Rare Road Foundation, so a second piece that would be added at Varney Park, that is going before spring town meeting. Right now, I think, actually, what I didn't get is, I know the Rare Road Foundation is doing their fundraising. They're trying to raise $10,000. It's more of a regional fundraising, but they have some members that are living in Chelmsford, so they wanted to be, donate to, or have be part of Chelmsford as part of their project or fundraising. So I will try to get some information. We can always, promote it on their behalf as well. That would be a spring town meeting, and then we would probably do that installation end of the summer, early fall. I don't have anything on Ledge Road. I don't know if you.
Well, the hearings,
meetings this week, right?
that's sort of.
Just try to get people there.
Paul, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to first, because not everybody's familiar with this week.
There's a public hearing at the senior center this Thursday evening on the revised order of conditions for the Ledge Road commercial truck traffic. And whatever may come out of that, it can be appealed again, but it's hopefully it puts us in a better place going forward.
It would be appealed to the land court.
Be appealed to the land court, yeah.
So my question, Paul, is this committee has voted on things like recommendations for town meeting warrant articles. If the committee wanted to vote on a recommendation for the ZBA, do you have any objection to that? Or would you prefer?
I don't have any objection to it. I think quite frankly, individual people's testimony will weigh more
Okay.
than the organization. And it's not a slight to the organization. It's just the volume and number of people, I think, more voices you have, the better. And so what I don't want to do is have you sort of come in and speak as an organization as opposed to speaking as individual residents. I think has an impact. That's my assessment of it.
Yeah, we're working to get a lot of people in.
How does that work? I've never been to one of those.
It's a public hearing, and so they'll describe why they're there, what's being considered, and then it's open mic, and people go up there and express their concerns. And then they'll close the hearing, and then render a decision, and then they said that if it's unsatisfactory, it can be appealed to the land court.
Okay. Christine, before you came, I mentioned that you would be looking to do a public input session on the Main Street.
Right, so we do have a draft report, we will be finalizing it soon. I think for this group, and to the select board, I'll be doing a presentation just to give them an update on the design. We are looking at probably a 3-phase installation just because it's about $1.5 million. We're trying to do in $500,000 segments, including the intersection of School Street and Main Street, Groton Road and Main Street, and then an area in between. It is both for roadway, the roadway needs to be redone, adding sidewalk, and then adding traffic calming elements along the way. But I think that we do not have funding for this year as of right now. So I think the timing would be to have a public, we would do an update to the select board into this group probably March. I think select board would be end of February, then March would be the update to this group. And then a public input session likely at the senior center, probably April or May, probably closer to May. And then we're still moving forward with design, but we just don't know, we don't have that funding set at that first phase. I guess the earliest it would be is if ever was a chance for fall town meeting or, so fall potentially, but my guess is the earliest it would start would be next year. And once we have that report ready, right now it's in draft form, we'll also make that available so people can review it as well. Vinyl Square, so we did have a recent meeting with Vinyl Square. They're trying to reconcile the 25% comments. Next phase is to do that utility survey where it's really doing the SUV, so they use the electronic tracing to identify where utilities are along the way and identify any other potential utility conflicts. So that's one of the next phases. It really can't happen right now with the snow. I don't have an update as to what that update, the timeline is. When would we have that 25% design public hearing? Wouldn't be until that site survey. So my guess at this point is it's probably not until this summer, because they have to get through that utility review, reconcile those comments. So it's probably a summer, spring. We're still on the 2028 tip for that project. Richardson Road, we do not have an update on that. I guess we did reach back out to the state just asking them to clarify the scope, because originally it started as we wanted to have some signal improvements to Richardson Road. Also the thought originally was that the state would pay for more of the design beyond 25%. That wasn't clear. And so we're just asking, like, instead of taking on that whole project, could the state, or could we just take on a piece of it, Richardson Road? So they're looking at the scope limits before we can move forward. And that isn't on a current tip right now. Local traffic and construction, I don't think I have any update right now. I don't know if there's any particular questions on that, but there's nothing else that's really going. I mean, there's some development work, but there's nothing within the right of way. Fire Station 2 landscaping, spring.
Is Swain Road getting repaved again anytime soon?
Which one?
Swain,
I don't think Swain's on the list for this year.
because it seems to keep on getting some holes from the trucks that go through there.
Yeah,
Because I remember last time they did sections.
Yeah, we do have quite a backlog of roads that have to be reclaimed, so we're just going over that list. I don't think it's on the current, I'll have to.
I'll take a look again. I think on the last storm, I think some holes opened up.
There's a lot more, yeah, we're going around, there's potholes open. I mean, it's been so cold, so we've had less potholes, but this is the week they'll start opening up. We have a number of streets that have, they're, I guess you call they failed, they have to be reclaimed, and Swain, I don't think it.
Because last time you guys did it, you did it in pieces. Like they did a section, like every bit. Like they didn't do the whole thing, but all that heavy equipment going over it definitely eats it.
I'll have to double check. Honestly, I haven't memorized the list for this year yet.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'll.
I just figured because it was up there, I was gonna ask.
But usually I have to, because I know Main Street was the potential, and but then we didn't have the funding, so I have to double check Swain. Let's see, what else? Boat ramp, we talked about that last time, so that's moving forward with the state, and so.
Did they make the award?
They did make the award. I mean, I know that they've at least made the, I don't know if they've issued the contract, but they just selected the contractor, and it's a summer, fall installation. I don't know the exact dates, but later, I think because they have to build a coffer dam, and I know there's limited timelines that can do that. So I would say so summer, fall. I don't have.
I think what's left is falls.
Yeah.
The only McKay Libraries we're just working on. We do have work going on there for the access in the back, so just working on the design of that. That's the only other update.
The Vinyl Square parking lot lease, still have not been able to get a hold of Kevin Broderick, who owns the property. I know Bill's been trying as well. It's like. He's
frustrating.
Have you guys been to his office?
What's that?
Have you been to his office?
No.
He said It's, because he said that he was, you know, verbally.
Yeah,
that he
no
was all
problem,
right.
we'll get that, yeah, and then, you know, so anyway, I will ramp it up now that we're into February. The cell tower inquiry, they're all over the place. We must get an inquiry a week about cell towers. And we keep pushing them, well, what about, you know, at Richardson Road, and then they come back, well, what about this piece of conservation land, or this, that water tank, storage tank, and so forth. I think they're just looking for places of low effort and low expense, basically.
Do you and Evan have anything on business or housing items? I know last time the certificates of occupancy for the last launch of the Princeton Street development were going forward. I saw the license for the liquor store was advertised for the select board later this month.
Yeah, and they will be granted a temporary occupancy so they can start putting some inventory and other assets in the building. So they're essentially near the end of the construction phase. What's gonna take a little while is after the select board, assuming the select board approves it, which I don't foresee why they wouldn't, it just takes a while to get through the state review and approval, so. We're in February now, that might not happen until March or April, and not because the select board will slow it down, it's just, the state's response to reviewing these modifications can vary to 2 weeks to 2 months, you know.
So did they try to modify their liquor license?
Well, they did, because they changed the layout of the building and the space and so forth.
Are they still trying, like, and you said, I think last time when I asked you said there was not gonna be a tasting at the time.
Right, that's.
I was curious if that was still
Yeah.
the intent.
Yeah,
So they can sell liquor, but they can't
right.
serve liquor.
Right.
Obviously.
And so that's going, they're still awaiting final occupancy in the last building at the 255 Princeton Street, the West Campus. So whatever reason, that last building has gone a little slower than they anticipated. So I imagine that should be pretty soon. And then at Jackson Road, they're essentially done, but they're not gonna be ready for street acceptance.
There's still punch list items, and then I know they have some work to do along Broughton Road, so that has to be completed in the spring. So in terms of road acceptance, we'll probably be in the fall.
Which one's Jackson?
The off of Groton Road, the
Behind Burton.
Lane.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why we did that as a public way, but that's a whole different discussion. It really is, it's a road that goes nowhere other than to the
This is a
development.
bad mess.
Does anyone have anything else in terms of status updates or questions?
Because I just have a quick question. Do you guys have anything that we should be aware of for like the spring?
Can you speak louder?
Sure. Do you guys have anything for like the spring town meeting coming up that we should know about?
That was on my next.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead. I was going to say that at the next meeting, by the next meeting, the warrant for the Springtown meeting will have been signed.
Yep.
And so if the committee wants to go through relevant articles and vote on them like we did for fall, I'll put that on for March.
Okay.
But Paul, do you wanna just touch on?
Yeah, I can just tell you right now, because I just sent it up, there are 35 articles on the draft warrant.
I think 12 of them are ours, aren't
Yeah, I think the planning board has
So certainly.
27 to 33 is what, seven zoning articles.
The CD Light application in the North Village is one that we'll wanna vote on, and the public hearing for that is gonna close on February 11th. I should mention that. And then there's a Barney Park one, right, for the ADA equipment?
Yep, that's under CP, Community Preservation Committee, the Barney Playground, accessible playground equipment. There's an outdoor illumination general bylaw coming back for consideration again, so that affects everybody.
Yeah, that one may or may not come. My understanding, he might be traveling.
Well, yeah, but then they asked us to take it on the other
Do
day.
it on a different.
Do it on
first
different
night.
dates.
Oh, yeah, because he's around
So
the
that's,
first night.
yeah, so
Yes,
that's
right.
on there, and then the rezoning you mentioned.
Yeah.
They're gonna revise the definition of boarding house, I don't know if there's boarding houses where they are in town. You know, a new definition for bed and breakfast.
Yeah, because that stuff all came up.
Is there anything else specific for this committee?
Well, those definitions affect it, because they impact the zoning we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other things I was gonna put on in March were, the Spring Fest. We'll keep driving that home. Main Street, if you're ready to give us the
Yeah, I'll know what the
presentation on
next
that.
thing is too.
And then we'll just do a quick discussion with, the benefit of Evan here on the exterior facades. And then at some point, we need to start picking up on beautification and the beautification fund, and so that's probably gonna be more like April, but I'll get Evan with Evan and start thinking about it before then. Does anybody else have anything burning for March that you want me to not forget? Okay, is there any public comment?
Yes.
If you could just give us your name so that.
My name is Happy Patel. So my dad, he owns the Patrick Plus gas station. And he just wanted to know if there's going to be any traffic pattern change at that location. Okay.
Did the people on Zoom hear the question? Okay, go ahead.
That's right, and this is right at Princeton and Route 3.
Princeton Street and
Princeton 3.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I know there was a very conceptual idea put together and potential, because right now, if you're coming out of the gas station, you can only go straight towards Final Square. So concepts that were presented was it would change the traffic pattern there, but right now we're on hold. To really understand the scope of work, we might adjust the scope to only include Richardson, the intersection of Richardson Road and Route 3A. So right now, everything's on hold. I mean, long-term potentially, but right now, there's no timeline, and there's no proposed traffic pattern change at this time.
So at this point, you would not, to give you a time frame, you're not gonna see anything happen in calendar year 27 from.
No, the earliest would be 2031,
2030, yeah. We're talking years from now.
2031. Yes,
It's
if
all
there
right.
was
Yeah,
a
so-
project,
yeah.
2031, 32,
Yeah.
if there even was a project, but we still have a couple of years of design, so my guess is if there was a change, you're talking about at least 5 years out,
Yeah.
at least 5 years.
And if a change were to come, you would get a notice in the mail saying, here's a plan, come provide your concerns to the design process. And that would probably happen at least for a year.
No, there is a plan out there to show some potential, but that's highly conceptual,
Right.
we haven't vetted it out through a process. I wouldn't even call it it's like a 10% design, so that would have to be vetted out and through public comment. So if there, like I said, there are concepts out there, but they're purely concepts that need to be further vetted out. And we're, like I said, still defining the scope of this initial project, or limits.
So if you were to move forward with that project, just theoretically, like, do you guys consider like the businesses around the ins and out, exit, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
as a favor of it, just trying to make sure, just kind of thinking for the future in a way.
Yeah, we would meet with you. Typically, especially like those direct abutters, we probably would meet with you. And then we also have a public meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, our next meeting is March 2nd. And if no one has anything else, it's 8:24.
No, I have one.
Oh.
Swain is not.
On the list?
Swain is not on the
So
list.
there's like what do? You put in that report if there's like holes to get them filled.
See, click fixed. You can enter locations and
Okay.
it'll fill.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Who's gonna second it?
Second.
Okay.
Liz.
Aye, aye, aye.